And today we're going to do things a little bit different. If I can, it's a bit of an experiment, so I don't know how it's going to go. I have detected an issue already, but we'll try and cope with that. Okay folks, it's a bit windy here, and I was going to put the parasol up because it's quite bright, but the wind persuaded me otherwise. I've got a sponge over the end of the phone to try and keep the wind out. We'll see how that goes. Let us begin. This is TrampCast episode 076, episode 76. Today we will be covering the week ending Sunday, July the 6th. We are therefore almost 4 weeks behind at the moment, or we are 4 weeks behind. We're going to make efforts to recover that. We'll give it a few minutes for people to arrive before we begin, but I am doing things, as I said, it is a bit of an experiment. It is the first episode where we're going to try this. I don't have my notepad. I have not spent 3 hours copying out notes from my phone to paper. I saved a little bit of time maybe. Although it's possible that when I do transpose my notes from the phone, it's possible that that gives me a chance to edit them, condense them, miss things out, make things a little bit briefer. We are today going through notes that I haven't really read through, and that's going to be interesting. I have my new tablet from my friend Karen, and what that means is I've just taken my notes from my phone, copied them to the tablet, added an intro block at the beginning, and we're just going to go. There has been no writing things out. We'll see what that means, folks. It may be that in future I have to go through the notes and edit them for spelling and make them more clear, a bit more concise. It's an experiment. We shall see how it goes. As I said, you see the app that I'm using, the text app, has a tendency to jump to the bottom. A lot like the YouTube chat on Friday night, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, that was annoying, and this might be a bit annoying. I might have to find a word processor app or something to put the text into, and that's a bit more stable and doesn't jump around. This is looking a little bit annoying already. As I said, this is TrampCast proper, episode 76, where we're going to cover the week ending Sunday, July the 6th. So basically the week beginning 4 weeks ago and ending 3 weeks ago. I am Delta Mike. The channel is Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja. As I said, I am Delta Mike. Down and out. Well, we've got a whole list here, haven't we? Homeless, hobo, tramp, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some might say a bum. Someone who sleeps rough. It faded on me. Someone who sleeps rough or on the street, or in my case, in a field. Folks, it's not CGI. Contrary to what that clown said the last time we did a TrampCast. I can't do the rear camera because the controls are inside the sponge. But I am in a field, literally in a fucking field. There are half a dozen people out there, probably in chat, who have been here in the field, who can attest that I'm not making this shit up. It is not AI, it is not bullshit. You can go online and say, I've been there and he wasn't there, it's all a lie. Yeah mate, I got half a dozen people who will contest that with you. Thumbs up if you would, folks. Let me see, I've got a line about this somewhere. Thumbs up! Subscribe if you've seen 3 or 4 or more of my videos and you want to see more. Subscribing helps the channel by sending a signal to YouTube that there's something of interest here, but it helps you not to miss a video. So subscribe if you want to see more. God love you if you do. I've no idea why, but it seems that there are now 1,600, almost 1,700 of you that do want to see more. I thank each and every one of you. Folks, chat is where the action's at. You have to have chat open and be typing and say hello in chat. You say hello in chat and I'll say hello back, and we'll take it from there. I'm watching this as an on-demand video, as a replay. You will want live chat replay. You want to click the screen and look for the two speech bubbles, one behind the other. Bring that up and it will replay chat as it happened, live, you know, as it happened live. So if I just by accident don't read someone's message but just respond to them, you'll know what the score is. You'll have a better idea what's happening. You'll certainly have a better idea what's happening than I do. I'm often about an hour behind in chat, and I'll say something and someone will respond to me at the bottom of chat, but I'm still an hour behind. It'll take me a while to catch up. I'm already up full. Well, that's a little bit. Okay, let's have a look. There's my friend Roger and Max, his doggy. Oh no, that's not chat, that was a message. Hold on. Here we go. That was me with PayPal donate. Somebody, I struggle. Let me see whether my old glasses, I was about to say, let me see whether my old glasses help, but the lens just fell out. My new glasses are good, but not perfect. Not sure. I think that's the wrong way up. I don't think the lens is in the right place. That is my friend Ismo. It was indeed Ismo. Finlandia. Finland, of course, is going through its I think its most severe heat wave in forever. Very warm in Finlandia. Very warm in Finland. I am just finishing this green can. I am today mainly, I will be on Argus from my friend Lee, who came by the other day and brought me a 12 pack from Lidl. Lee. Yeah, he was taking the piss out of my pronunciation, but I do believe it to be Lee's in most European countries. So in France, Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi, I is E, and similar in Spain. Warm beer, folks, warm beer. Okay, think about beginning. How many of you are? Only 6. Wow, okay, that's low. Have the alerts not gone? Did I did promote this in Twitter and on YouTube, didn't I? I did put the messages out. Fairly sure I did. I remember being in my account looking at them and thinking about putting the messages out. Okay, folks, this is TrampCast, episode 76, covering the week ending Sunday, July the 6th, 2025. In a moment, we will begin with the numbers round. I haven't researched this massively. There aren't a lot of facts to do with the number 76, but there are a few. So we will start with the numbers, as we often do, as this is episode 76, some facts about the number 76. Following that, we will look at the thank yous for the week in question, then the themes of the week, and then we'll look at the week in depth. Okay, folks. Let's have a look. Late messaging and football starting soon. Yeah, the Lionesses, I know some of you are going to be watching that. Maybe you can keep me on in the background. Maybe you come back to me and watch me later. I don't know, folks. I have my routines. You know, what can I do? I wasn't going to postpone by 2 or 3 hours because finish here. So I'm just going to do what I do. You do what you do. Each to their own. Okay. No harm, no foul. Okay. Some facts about the number 76. 76 is a composite number. So it's not prime, it's not semi-prime. It actually has 3 pairs of divisors. 1, 2, 4, 19, 38 and 76. So 1 times 76, 2 times 38 or 4 times 19 will all get you to 76. Now it's what's called a square prime, which means that one of the divisors is a square number. So the 4 is obviously 2 squared. 2 squared multiplied by 19. So that's a thing called a square prime, apparently. Oh, wrong button, press look, and now we're going to I have to type it in every time the screen goes black. Okay. Now here's another fact. 76 is what is called an automorphic number, and there are only 2 of these under 100. So what this means is the number that you started with. So, for example, 76 squared is 5,776. The other one is 25, which when you square it ends up with a big number in 25. I don't know what the number would be. I got no clue. 25 squared. I can't think. 5,000 something and 25, I don't know. You tell me. That doesn't sound right. 625 maybe. I don't know, folks. I haven't got my head screwed on today. I've had a beer or 3. But that is called an automorphic number, where when you square it, the end of the number is the number that you began with. Now you know. The only other factoids that I have now about the number 76 are from the periodic table. We always have one. And the name derives from the Greek word osme, which means to smell. And apparently this element stinks. Really does stink. Bluish white transition metal in the platinum group, usually found as a trace element in alloys, mostly in platinum ores. Osmium has the highest density of any stable element. So anything heavier than osmium would be like a uranium or something that's inherently kind of unstable and breaks down into other things over time. Osmium, 22.59 grams per cubic centimeter. Remember, water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Oh, I'm gonna have to, Tina girl, I'm gonna have to, here we go, folks. It's a tradition of the channel. There's my girl. She's just had her food. And she's got her water. Tina! Quiet! I have just remembered the phone's low on charge and I will have to plug it in at some point. We're on 17%. But the problem is if I plug it in, I can't put the sponge over the microphone, so you might get the sounds from the wind. It's going to be a balancing act, folks. It's going to be a balancing act. Everything's low on power. The phone and the tablet. So I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to try and keep my hand somewhere nearby to try and shield it. Oh, I forgot to turn it back. Star of the show. Pretends to be star of the show. We all know Tina's the real star. I am going to have to turn this passcode off in the future. So we were talking about osmium and its density and weight. So basically 23 times heavier than water. One of the rarest elements in the Earth's crust, get this, 50 parts, not per million, not per billion, per trillion. This stuff is like non-existent almost. Uses, the main use I can find is pen nibs for fountain pens. This stuff is really hard, but a little bit brittle. Pen nibs along with platinum and iridium. So pen nib tipping, as they put it here, but also electrical contacts and some other applications that require extreme durability and hardness. But it does have a brittle nature, which means it's not perfect for everything. The density of osmium is slightly greater than that of iridium, and the two are so similar that for a while there was discussion is that we developed technology sophisticated enough to measure and to refine the measurements between them. There was literally arguments about which was the more dense. So that's a fun fact. Okay folks, it was only when we had the means X-ray crystallography that we could be certain of which was the denser of the two, between osmium and iridium. So now you know. Those were some facts related, even if tangentially, to the number 76, because this is episode 76 of TrampCast. Okay folks, in a moment we shall start to look at the thank yous for the week in question. The week in question being the week ending July the 6th, Sunday, July the 6th. So 3 weeks ago today, the week ended. So we're looking at those at the week that was started 4 weeks ago and ended. They're all okay. Yeah? Friday night's TrampCast Hangout, the more unstructured show that I do. I did an update of Tina's condition. As many of you know, we had the vet out to her just over a week ago, about 9 days ago now, and we were hoping that the medication that we'd got might make a difference and that she might be up and on her feet. Unfortunately, that has not happened. She shows no sign of being any better off. The medication were to stop inflammation and painkillers. She's never shown any sign of pain apart from when the vet grabbed her in one specific location. The spinal injury that she has suffered, probably from when she was kicked by the police, as far as we can tell, because of the timing and how things went. Hey Tina, it's okay. Tina's okay. Probably from when the police kicked her, or Guardia Civil. Any swelling and reducing pain, she might get use of her back legs back. Doesn't seem to have happened. Tina, enough. Basta. Suficiente. But it doesn't seem to have happened, folks. There's no sign of any improvement. In just the same way there was no sign she was in any pain. My belief is still fairly firmly on it being neurological. Yes, she was kicked. Yes, there's a spinal injury of some description, a herniated disc or whatever, slipped disc. But I still think that the fact that this tickle spot moves, I still think neurological. Now, whether she could have two things at once doesn't seem impossible. We shall see, folks, we shall see. Anyway, cheers to the subscribers. Cheers to those of you that are here with me now. Thumbs up if you haven't already, folks. Subscribe is worth considering if you've seen 3 or 4 of my videos and you think you want to see more. I've got to say the numbers today are a little disappointing, but we shall soldier on manfully. Tina, stop it, darling. Okay, folks, let's move on. Thank yous for the week. I haven't checked these, so I've only got what I've got. maybe more buried in amongst the week. I'm not always great at updating my separate block of thank yous. Now, in the week in question, my friend Anthony had arrived in the country, and case or two of beer during his time here. And if you're out there, thank you, my friend. He has been back since. He's had a couple of flying visits that weren't intended. He's supposed to be coming later, I think the back end of August. He's supposed, or maybe early September. He's supposed to be coming, but he comes out here to buy leather, which is the raw material for his business, and he will come out here for flying visits about a week ago. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about three or 4 weeks ago. My son, Ronan, came out and visited and brought some extra cans of beer. Cold cans of beer, always nice. Cold cans are always nice. My friend Colleen has been a regular visitor for quite a while now. She's an older lady who walks her dogs at like 7:30 in the morning in yeah, that place over there, La Mata. That's the name. It's so long since I've been, I couldn't remember. In La Mata, walks her dogs in the morning, and on the way back she'll stop and drop off like a newspaper and sometimes some chicken carcasses for Tina. Sometimes a book or something as well for me to read. So thank you to those guys. That was Anthony, Ronan and Colleen. And if I've missed it to this, I will add to the thank yous. Okay folks, thank you to those guys. And themes for the week in question being the week ending July the 6th, 2025. Heat folks, it's summer in Spain. It's fucking hot. And I'm in a tent which is like it's like a plastic greenhouse. You know, if you've ever been inside a greenhouse in summer, that's my tent. It's fucking hot. I come outside into the sun to get cool, to cool down. I've got my my brolly, my parasol, my sombrilla here with me. But it's got up a little bit windy in the last couple of hours, so I haven't put it up. But it is a fact that I come outside sometimes into the sun to cool down. I can sit inside the tent and be wet through. I got the man boobs and I get the sweat rings under the boobs and then around the waistband and then all around the crotch everything's wet and crusty and fucking awful. Look at this, I've just activated my tablet, it's turned up already. So yeah, the heat, these solar power station things as they call them, are basically a battery that gives you various outputs. A 12 volt socket to power my cool box, various USB sockets, USB-A, that's a standard USB, and USB-C for my phone and tablet, and also for my, have I shown you this? Some of you will have seen this. I brought it out in case. It gets a little bit wild out here with the flies. It rained a couple of days ago. This is an electric fly swatter thing, and you swipe it through a cloud of flies and they all fry and they burst into flames literally. So this is USB-C. My new tablet is, my phone is. So USB-A, USB-C, and the EcoFlow also gives me, I can show you here as well, look, because I brought it here with me, because I'm underpowered at the minute. Can you see here? There is a proper plug socket, 220 volts, alternating current, proper Spanish plug socket. That's my EcoFlow. Where would I be without it, folks? I've had it about 16-17 months now, and in the week in question, You will see shortly. Something pivotal happened. That was the week where the wire snapped off the connector between the solar panel and the EcoFlow. I did a video saying, help, Tramp is powerless, needs an electrician. Some people came to my aid via video. My friend Roger trying to teach me how to solder a new connector, except his instructions wouldn't have worked even if I knew how to solder, because the connector wasn't what it should be. I had expensive trash. We paid double the price we should have for the cable when we got it, and we got something particularly substandard in hindsight. My friend Karen has helped me recently get a new cable. If you've been here a while, you'll have heard the name Karen. Not in a bad way, not in the modern parlance of, oh, she's a Karen. She's not at all. She's been a wonderful friend ever since I first met her in TrampCast 001. If you've got 2.5 hours to spare and you want to investigate my whole backstory, who is this Tramp? How did he become a tramp? Why is he so educated and intelligent? All of these questions and many, many more are answered in TrampCast 001. Go find it, folks. Go find it. So, the heat, the EcoFlow solar panel. We had police visits in this particular week. The police are well, for society, I guess they're a necessary evil, but for me, they're just a fucking evil. Sorry, folks, those of you that back the blue. You'll back the blue until it happens to you. The period in question saw an unprecedented rise in the number of subscribers to the channel. Subscribers and viewers went through the roof. I've gained about 300 subscribers in the last month, and in previous months I gained about 20 per month. Tina, enough! Oi! Shush! Basta! Suficiente! I have to shout at her in Spanish because she's a Spanish dog. Es obviamente. Where was that, folks? Look, because I haven't touched it, the screen did just turn off again. Oh, please, yeah, back the blue till it happens to you. In Torrevieja, let's discuss the police for a little bit. It does lose me subscribers because I know a lot of normal, everyday, middle-class people like yourselves will think the police are wonderful and marvellous. You've never had anything to do with them. You've never been a drinker in a pub who gets stopped on the way home, just walking home and asked where you're going, what you're doing. You've never been given the bullshit that they give people. I'm on private land. In Spain, the police can demand your ID whenever you're in public. They like to come here and pretend this is public and tell me I can't be here. And I each time have to educate them and said, private land, the owner hasn't complained, therefore none of your fucking business. Until the owner complains and trespasses me, the police have got nothing to do with nothing. And the owner is either totally oblivious to my existence or doesn't mind my existence, because I'm not doing any damage that you would notice. I'm not doing any harm. But in Torrevieja at the minute, we seem to have a whole new set of police. They've got brand new cars. They're not even cars. They're pickup trucks with a shell over the flatbed part, over the back. There's a lot of brand new police cars, and there's a lot of brand new police in shiny, bright new uniforms who are either fresh out of the academy, or because the police don't tend to serve in their local area, they get put in other regions so that their family are protected, kind of thing. There's just a whole new squad of police here, and every time a new police officer, every time a copper drives past on the main road at the top, sees a tent in a field, thinks, oh, public land, probably, tent shouldn't be there, and comes in to try and bully me and tell me I can't be here. And the second or third question they ask, after they ask for ID and I tell them no, the second or third question they ask is, how long you been here? And when I tell them, oh, just about 2.5 years, then they look at me funny. Then they call me a liar. Then I tell them I can prove it because YouTube. And then they go quiet. Then they go through the whole ID routine again, and I tell them, no, it's publico. And I ask them, I clarify, are you sure you can demand my ID in public? And then they go quiet and they turn around and walk off. We've had 3 visits in the last month. The first of which was probably during this period that we're about to. I don't remember offhand. I can't tell you which of the various incidents was the one in this. I'll recognise it when I get there and read my own notes. That's the beauty of contemporaneous notes. That's why notes that are written on the day in question are allowed in court. Contemporaneous notes are allowed in a court of law. That's why it's part of the reason that I keep notes. Tina girl, stop it. So, heat, EcoFlow and the solar panel and the wire, the police, many subscribers, and along with many new subscribers came some negativity. These are themes for the week and for the week after, I guess. There's 2 or 3 weeks really where if you've been here in recent TrampCasts and TrampCast Hangouts, you will have seen people arrive calling me a liar, saying it's all AI and that I'm not really here. They've been to this field and there's nobody here. I get people coming on saying, ugh, I can smell him through the phone. I get people asking, when did you last wash? All of the above. We've had the lot. When you get hundreds of new subscribers, you will get a handful of new haters. And the trick is just to hit the button to send them to the shadow realm. They can keep posting. They see their posts. They think that they're still talking to the world. They're the only person who sees their posts. They are literally sent to the shadow realm. They are off in their own little universe where only they can see their posts. So that's that, folks. Those are the themes for the week. The heat, the EcoFlow / solar panel, the police, the new subscribers or viewers, and the nasty comments that come with that. Okay. We are 36, almost 37 minutes in. I'll take us another swig of beer and we'll be 37 minutes in by the time we start. Beer's getting a little bit warm. Have you ever drunk warm lager? Have you ever drunk hot lager? This is just warm. This isn't just not cold, this isn't just tepid, it's positively warm. But some days my beer gets hot. Now if you know anything about chemistry and physics, cold liquids hold on to dissolved gases better. When a liquid warms, it gives off the gases that. This is why before it boils, this is why you see lots of bubbling within water. As it gets warmer, as it's on its way, it starts to bubble. It's giving off the gases that are dissolved within it. The same with hot beer. It's much more fizzy than when it's cold, but in a bad way. And each hot bubble, each warm bubble, and it's acrid. Like warm lager has an acrid aftertaste. Really, really fucking vile. The other day, this is going to sound bad, and shush, those of you that are going to think it, just shush. My friend Karen was over and left recently and dropped off, well, it was a fella, dropped off a surprise bottle of brandy and some cola. I had to stop drinking the lager through the day. I had to switch to brandy and cola just because the lager was so fucking vile. I know, first world tramp problems. Of all the problems of all the tramps in all the world, your beer being warm and you're being forced to drink brandy instead. I'm a lucky boy. My friend Karen and her family do spoil me. As does Mark. My friend Mark stopped by the other day. I told this one on Friday night. He thought he was dropping off like I'm not sure if it was a third of a bottle or a quarter of a bottle. He thought it was whiskey. There was the head and the antlers. I thought, oh yeah, that's going to be like a Glen something or other because Scotland and whiskey. No, Jägermeister. And Jägermeister is just so Moorish. I took a little sip. I didn't know what was. The label was kind of ripped. It'd been stuck to a packet of cigarettes at some point, and the label tore when it was separated. So neither of us knew what I was getting, but I opened it thinking, oh, it'll be a bit of whiskey, and I put a little bit in the bottom of a glass. Taste it. Oh, it's got that cough mixture kind of, almost like Benylin, if you remember Benylin from when you were a kid. Yeah, it's got that kind of, and it's so Moorish. You have one glass of it and you want another glass and another. You put a little bit of cola in to try and make it not so Moorish, but it still has that sickly sweet, clings to your tongue and your throat on the way down. Very, very. So Mark looks after me as well, and yeah. So Karen Sweller brought me the brandy. Mark brought me the Jägermeister, and then when they left the country, Karen and co gave me the quarter bottle of vodka from the cigarette. I don't do bad, do I? For a tramp living in a field, I don't do bad. Thank you, folks. But that's not the week in question. The week in question is 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's when we should be talking about. Okay, if you're sitting comfortably, then I will begin. So this will be Sunday evening, the 29th of June, I believe we're starting from. And this is the Sunday after not doing a TrampCast that night. There hadn't been a TrampCast, that's why I'm so many behind. I fell asleep inside the tent with the fan on and ran the battery down way too far on the EcoFlow. I woke up in what should have been time to chase the sun, so let's say 8 o'clock at night. And I could have put, if you look over here, I could have taken the solar panel from there and put it over there against the recliner, against the sunbed, facing the sun over there. Except, on this particular night, there was low cloud on the horizon and no sun. So that didn't work. Uh-oh, what's going on here? I've touched the screen and lost my place. Okay, here we go. I'm back. You don't have this problem with a pen and paper, do you? It was wanting to do a regex, a regular expression, which is a fancy kind of pattern matching search. That's not where we were at. So I'd fallen asleep, run the battery down, and left it too late. The sun was gone, basically. Whilst on a good day, I would have been able to top it up. On this particular day, not so much. So last thing at night, and I'm eating breakfast sandwiches that Anthony had brought that morning. I think if you go back, folks, if you check the last proper TrampCast, I think this is the Sunday where the Scottish couple in Spain interviewed me, where Barry from Scottish couple in Spain had been around. That was the first weekend I didn't do the TrampCast, because I had three friends arrive all at the same time. All arrived independently, no knowledge of each other, and 3 arrived within 2 minutes of each other. So yeah, that was the week that was. Ate the breakfast sandwiches or half of the breakfast sandwiches, because I saved half for the next morning. So into Monday morning, and I woke Tina 7 o'clock in the morning, and overnight we're down to 36% on the EcoFlow. If we'd not had a sunny day, I would have been buried. That would have been game over. But you know, it's Spain. You only need an hour or two of. It doesn't even need to be sunshine. It just needs to be bright enough to power the panel, and I'll get topped up. Yeah, I've written here. Look, top of my nose is sore and crusty from too much sun on the Saturday, Sunday. On the Saturday, a new friend, Sean, had been around to the camp. And then the Sunday was when the 3 friends all arrived at once. We had Anthony brought me breakfast sandwiches. Anthony arrived at Barry, Scottish couple in Spain, YouTube channel. He arrived, and Joby, the English guy who used to live in the field with me, arrived. All literally 2 minutes. Anthony pulled up, and we were unloading, I think it's beer and sandwiches. Thank you, Anthony. Beer, water and sandwiches it would have been. Before he got out of the car fully, Barry arrived and parked at the bottom of the road, so we waited for him to come up. We came through to here, and I was just getting them seated, and Joby came down the path in the field and started parking his bike. Yeah. So yeah, that more top of my nose was. I sat here facing them. I sat in this little chair behind me, this little diddy chair. You ever seen these like deck chairs, but they're only 1 foot off the ground? Terrible, really. But and they cost a fucking fortune when you see them in the Chinese bazaar. They're charging 30 and 40 quid for like half a deck chair. Ridiculous. Anyway. The top of my nose and across my cheeks was crusty with blood, where I'd had too much sun. And yes, you're all going to say, oh, sun oil and factor 50, but I don't use the stuff. Never have, never will. It's not quite true. I used it once on my forehead, and I went for a long walk, and when I'm sweating, it all ran down and in my eyes. And if you've had that shit in your eyes, you know it's like fucking napalm. There's no getting rid of that crap. Never again. Never. My dad used to use olive oil. He would just bake in the sun. He literally went out to fry himself in the fucking sun. What a man. So yeah, top of my nose was crusty and awful. This was when my friend Colleen came around, and she'd seen me with Tina with a belt just around Tina's waist, and she brought like a padded belt just to go around Tina's waist. So when I'm picking her up, it's not just the belt on Tina's waist. Unfortunately, like other harnesses and things we've tried, Tina has a habit of bum shuffling along the ground, and it just tends to just rip the harness off and leave it behind her. I'll use it if I deliberately set off to go for a longer walk, say to the cliff tops, I'll use it. But when we're just milling around camp and just going for a quick poo and pee, it's not really practical. It takes twice as long to put on as the walk that we're going on, and not sure it does Tina any good. This was the day, so the Monday is the day that Barry published his video, the interview that he'd done with me. And the bugger doxed me, didn't he? Real name, online, given out there. I literally said on camera, real name is, but online I'm Delta Mike. And we all had a laugh, and then he went and published the whole video with me giving my real name. And then he put a bloody paragraph, go to the YouTube channel. Fucker, what are you doing, lad? I didn't complain because it would have just drawn more attention. Drama would have just drawn, Streisand effect it's called. When you draw attention to something that's wrong and you just magnify how wrong it is. But I was a little bit perturbed, a little bit. But I got a few new subscriptions that day, and over the next 3 or 4 days there was a rise in subs. But then it flattened out. We'll see later in the week though. It really took off about 6 or 7 days later. Anyway, after sleeping with the fan on, we did the chase the sun thing, and I also fell asleep. I did fell asleep with the fan on in the afternoon, and once the solar panel was in the shade, ran the battery down again, chased the sun, put the solar panel out to face the sun and try and get topped up, getting some power back. But then I put the cool box on and fell asleep. At midnight, the eco flow is down to 29%, and I've got to get through the night. I've got to charge phones and lights and things. Basically, we're starting the night already down to 29%. That's a little bit awkward. That's a little bit awkward. Yeah. Let me just grab. I'll just check chat. I can see there's some chat happened that I've missed, but you see, I can see some comments. I can't see who's saying them. I can see that says Tim Timony. Hold on. Let me go back to where I recognise. Sativa breeder. I think that's Martin. Is that Martin? Let me just go back a couple more. I get people trying to tell me I shouldn't be a squatter and what have you, but I can see your messages, folks. I can't see the names of the person who's posted them. It's a little... I do have extra glasses here, but I can't do anything more with the brightness. I could put the Brawley up. Oh... Hold on, that is Sativa breeder. Vitruvium, that's Ryan in Valencia. Private property rights, Director of the Property Yard. You're staying in a van on your own private land. No, Spanish law generally allows you to park and stay there as long as you... Yeah, I'm not on my land, I'm on someone else's. I can stay here until the owner complains, is my understanding of trespass in most jurisdictions. There you go, Ryan here for your info. I knew it was, my friend, I knew it was Ryan. Did you open the letter, asks Tom? No, not yet. Lovely solar chief, that'll be Tim Timony, just from the word chief. The official golden genuine Mr. Cast, okay. I'm here but not here, lol. That's Tim Timony, okay. A lot of you will be off to watch the football around now, won't you? Hope you and yours are well. We're okay, Tim Timony. Football's starting soon, I know, but I'm not changing my schedule just because of some football. Ismo, hello DM, I saw that. So let's work forward, I've just read those ones. Sativa, good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon, chat. Yeah. Oh, it's jumped. It's been annoying recently, this. And again, it jumps. It's just jumping to the bottom, no matter what. As soon as I take my finger off the screen, it jumps to the bottom. Did you open the letter? Okay, we can do without those. I can almost see. Let me go. I'm moving forward. Lady swallow, ground law or land law, yeah, okay. Landowners' rights to use their land, but not unconditionally. I can believe that. Jägermeister and absinthe. Oh, don't talk to me about absinthe. One of the worst nights of my fucking life. My nephew was over and we went out to a bar and then we called in at the kiosk, one of my favourite places in all of Spain. We went to the kiosk. Used to be called the famous kiosk in the park. Kino's bar at the top of the field there. And Kino had this 3/4 of a bottle of absinthe. Man, that shit is mouthwash. I cannot tell the difference between absinthe. What's the green mouthwash that everybody has? What's the top brand of mouthwash in the UK? I cannot tell. The way it just stings your mouth immediately on contact. The absinthe has got so much alcohol in, 70–80%. Immediately on contact with the flesh on the inside of your mouth, the inside of your mouth starts to dissolve. And yeah, I can't tell the difference. This stuff it could just have been mouthwash in a fucking glass bottle. And then I blacked out and I woke up the next morning and I'd locked my nephew out overnight. Fuck. Not my greatest moment. Don't ask. Don't ask. I cannot. I wish I had control over like the colours and the brightness of the names. I can read the message. Someone there says hi Mike, and I cannot, for the life of me, read the name of the person saying it. Even with that. Let me see whether I can put it down here and make it more visible. I've lost a lens now. Here we go. Hi Mike was Hannah. Whoa, and hi Mike was Hannah. Hello Hannah. Sativa breeder. I'm gonna lose the plot. You see, the new glasses I've got are almost the right measure, but just not quite. They're like half a measure off. Because I wasn't there when they were bought. You know, people bought them for me. So that was Sativa breeder. Jägermeister and absinthe is a potent mix. Check with the town hall. If the land's classified as rustico, you will have issues. No, it's got an owner. I know for a fact it has an owner. It's just that nobody can trace him because people tried to get me moved on early on. I know that they went to the local estate agent, realtor if you're American. They tried to get rid of me. So they did a trace on the name of the owner. So they've got the name of the owner, they just can't actually contact him. The police come along thinking it's public land and that they've got the right to tell me to fuck off, and they just don't. What's wrong with your real name, says Rob Ryan. Delta Mike. Is it Shirley, Marion, Karen? No, it's not. If you watch TrampCast 001, I give my real name away about 6 times. Every time I say to Tina, Tina's okay. Daddy is okay. I say it about 6 times. It's not like a big secret. Scottish couple in Spain said it and printed it. My name's out there. It's not like a big fucking secret. It's not a, you know, I prefer, because I've got family back in the UK, I prefer a little bit of kind of pseudo anonymity, just not to embarrass other members of the family. I've now lost my lens. What have I done with it? That's not good, because I'll probably end up standing on it and breaking it. You'll hear a crunch when I move next. What the fuck? I don't know, folks. I don't know. So no, it's not like a big fucking ultra secret. It's just a preference to maintain a persona online. A little bit like Beyonce is. Oh, look at that! I picked it up and put it somewhere. That's why it's not on my lap. I put it somewhere set for safekeeping. Beyonce is Sasha Fierce when she's performing. She has an alter ego, a persona that she inhabits when she goes live or when she's singing, and I'm a little bit the same. I'm quite a shy, quiet bloke, really. I would have never believed that I could talk to a camera for hours on end. My record so far, I think, is 6.5, somewhere between 6.5 and 7 hours. I would have never believed I could do that shit. That's not who I am. Don't know who this fucker is. I watch me back and I'm fucking quite entertained by me. You know? I don't know where it comes from. It's not me. It's... I don't want to sound like a psychiatry case, you know what I mean? I'm not... It is me, but it's not the normal me. It is performative. It's a performance. That's not to say that I'm fake. I'm not lying about anything. I'm not. It's a difficult thing to try and explain. It's me, but it's not me. It's not the normal me. It's certainly not the normal me. Does that make sense? Probably not. I rarely do. Don't know, folks. What's this say? Hold on. I think it's taking a piece. What's wrong with your normal rating? Okay. Then I can't see. Is that DJ Son? I can't read the names of the writing's in bright white, but the names are in a fucking silver grey on a black background, which just doesn't show. I don't know how. I think I just don't know how you were sitting in the direct sun. I'm kidding. From the sun, it's unbearable. Oh. Do not violate zoning or planning restrictions. Rural, agricultural versus urban land. Do not discharge waste. All my waste goes in the bins. Or create nuisance. No, I don't create nuisance or noise. I did a video a few nights ago. I didn't release it. There's a kiosk on the road, 300 meters that way. German bar on the road. Often open well 3 or 4 in the morning. And they had music going so loud that when I had a video playing half a metre from my head, they were louder. I couldn't hear my video that was half a metre from my head. My phone or tablet, whatever I was on, was turned up full, and that bar 300 metres away was louder than the phone half a metre from my head. I'm not a nuisance to anybody here. I'm happily waving and smiling and cheering and saying hello to anybody that walks past. I'm not doing anything here to cause a nuisance or to be a nuisance other than living, surviving. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit untidy. We had a big storm the other night. Things get blown. My empty water bottles get blown around, and it takes me a day or two to go pick them all up and bring everything back. Things are just around. But it's, you know, it's temporary. Any unsightliness or inconvenience is temporary. I'm not a problem to anybody. We're not damaging the land, we're not an issue, we're not a fire risk, we're not nothing. The only problem we have is when the police turn up randomly, and usually it's just new police to the area. They come along, they get told to go away once, and they go away, and I don't see the same officer again. But then his colleague will come by 2 days later, and then another new one will come by. They're always surprised when they say, how long you been here? They think I'm going to say, oh, a day, 3 days, a week. No, 2.5 fucking years. Once they hear that, they know they're on a loser. When I tell them that their boss has been here with all his gold braid, oro, all his gold, and walked around for 2 hours trying to find a way to get rid of me and couldn't. 5 officers and El Jefe. Once they hear that, they quickly go away. It's just annoying and stressful at the time because you've got people that can do you physical harm, people that can beat you up, people that can lock you up, people that can put modern handcuffs in that fixed position but behind your back. They cut off blood supply to your hand. I was in them for 4 hours one time, and my thumb, the heel of my palm and the bottom of my palm was numb for 3 months afterwards. The line that the handcuffs cause when they put them on was visible for the first 3 weeks. That's how tight and how they are, and that's after I got the doctor to tell them to loosen them by 2 notches. The line was still fucking visible for 3 weeks, and my hand was numb for weeks and weeks, months. Okay folks, we got 2 days in, didn't we? We got through Sunday and Monday. Let's see whether we can't pick up the story. Did we do Tuesday? Or are we just coming to Tuesday? I think we're coming to Tuesday of the week in question. This is the week, so Tuesday will have been July the 1st. So I toyed with the idea of doing a sunrise video that morning. I've been awake most of the night, but I fell asleep at the wrong time. Sabotaged my own attempts. 7 o'clock we went for a dog walk. The eco flow was below 30%, which is where it cuts off, and my phone was out of power. Now a little reminder, I set the eco flow with a base of 30%. It won't, once it gets down to 30, it doesn't give off power except the normal USB slots, the USB-A. That's to stop it from running down to 0. But my phone was out of power. Normally I would use the phone, connect to the EcoFlow and tell it, oh, go to 25 or go to 20 and make 5 or 10% of that power available again. But my phone was out of power at the same time, so I couldn't do that. So rather than charging my phone USB-C to USB-C, all I could do was use the USB-A to USB-C, which is a really slow, it gives about 2 watts to my phone. I had to plug it in and wait to get it up to 3%. And once it's at 3%, I can turn it on. Then I can tell the EcoFlow to lower its limit from 30 to 20 to free up that 10% of power. And then I could charge a phone normally. It's a bit of an intricate little dance on the rare occasions that happens. But it has bitten me once or twice in the past. It is a little bit of an issue. But it's good to preserve 20 or 30%. Imagine if I fall asleep, leave the fan on, wake up and the EcoFlow is on 0. I'll have to wait like 12 hours some days waiting for the power to, waiting for the sun to come up and on the panel and to charge the EcoFlow. So it's a useful kind of security precaution, as long as I don't let my phone run out of power at the same time. And once or twice it has coincided that way. But yeah, such is life. So I got the solar set up as quick as possible, waiting for the sun to come up over the trees. I can tell already that summer is on its way out. You know what I mean? That we're past June the 21st. The hours that the sunset and sunrise are moving considerably in the month in between. I can tell already. And even then, it was only a week later, 10 days later, I could sense it. Waiting for the sun to get above the trees at 8:30 in the morning to start charging the solar panel, to start hitting the solar panel and charging the EcoFlow. Here we go. I thought about finishing my notes for TrampCast 75, which was the episode that I'd not done that week. But it was too hot and I wasn't in the mood. And pretty much all day just spent just too hot. Can't be arsed. 8:15, I spent my last €10 that I had in cash at the time at the Chino Bazaar. I think that was when I went across and got some poo bags and a couple of other things. Doggy. We need. I think that was the one. We'll maybe be able to clarify that later with other comments. But it's around that time I was running low on doggy poo bags and I had to go across to the Chino Bazaar. Typically I go there about once a week. Sometimes twice, but not often. So that was Tuesday, folks. That was Tuesday. 8:15, I spent my last money, went to the Chino Bazaar. Wednesday, stupid hot already by 9:30 in the morning. As soon as the sun hits the top of the tent, it might not even be fully above the trees and like on the cool box or on the solar panel and side of the tent. As soon as it hits the top of the tent, it starts to heat up and you start to feel it straight away. I'm trying to get the EcoFlow up to 100%. And, this is one of those days where I just listened. My notes here literally say, listen to so much trash sci-fi. These I think it's HFY is like the keyword for these auto-generated AI sci-fi show. The overall story arc is made by sci-fi. The script is made by sci-fi. The voice is sci-fi. AI. Everything's AI. The script, the story arc is AI. The script is AI. The voice is AI. All the images are AI, and the overall video is put together by AI. And they're very trashy, and I love them. But HFY stands for humanity. Fuck yeah! That kind of thing. That tells you how trashy it's going to be. We always come out the heroes of the story. Always. We've always had some hidden technology for 20 years that no other alien race knew about, and we were waiting for them to come and pick a fight. And when they try and invade Earth, we send one ship to just zap their entire fleet out of existence. Trashy as fuck, and I love it. I can't explain why. I cannot explain. I should be I am a more seasoned reader than that. Really, I should be, and I could be, but I'm not. I kind of. You have to put up with some awkward pronunciation. They'll have an AI with like an English voice, English accent, but American pronunciation of certain words. There'll be awkward pauses between words. Roman numerals will get read out as IV instead of 4. Chapter 4 or chapter IV, shit like that. You just got to put up with some rubbish. But I should hate them. And some of them have awkward endings, rushed endings, badly structured. There'll be plot holes sometimes. You know what I mean? You take the rough with the smooth, folks. You take the rough with the smooth. I listened to so much of this trash sci-fi over the last month or two. Anyway, I'm listening to these things, and the EcoFlow's down to 80% because I've had the fan and the solar panel on. I've had the fan on and the solar panel's in shade. And again, I try to chase the sun. Anything less 90%, I won't chase the sun. If it's about to become night, and I'm on 90%, no problem. Anything below that, I'll chase the sun, move the panel across on the EcoFlow and just try and eke out an extra 5, 10, 20%, whatever it takes. But again, I chased the sun, but the clouds came over and we stalled on 87%. What's this about? I don't know what this is. All day with a cloud over me. I want to do a friend a favour, but need to ask a friend to help me do the favour. I don't know what that is. Maybe we'll find out later in the notes. It might be when I wanted to help Joby, who didn't have a working phone. It might be that. I'm not sure. So by Wednesday, I realised that Sunday's interview with the Scottish couple in Spain, Barry, continued to bring in subscribers after I thought it had slowed down. We had a peak and it slowed, and then it kind of carried on for a while. So I was up to 1,328, and then it fell by 6. And I thought, oh, YouTube's removed a lot of bots, maybe a lot of them were bots. But then it jumped from 1328 to 1370. I don't think I've ever got kind of 42 subscribers in a day. That was ridiculous. My friend Tina over here spent all day outside the tent under the bushes in the shade. Very sensible idea. In the end I got the EcoFlow topped out at 89%, and that was near enough. Wednesday I watched Scruff Dog. Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays is a more freeform show. Wednesdays is his building. Historically it was always Lego. The last 8 or 9 weeks I've been building an engine, internal combustion engine. He hasn't got it to work yet as far as I know. But yeah, okay. Suddenly I'm struggling with my phone. The appearance on the phone changed and I couldn't work out how or why, what had happened. Something was just wrong. Don't know what that was about. Thursday morning I wake up, Tina's outside. When you wake up and your dog's not there, she's not inside, what do you do? Fortunately she was tied up to the one of the poles of the tent, so she can come inside and sit inside, or she can go outside, sit outside. She couldn't go too far, but she's barking at every past 6:30 till 9 in the morning. Lots of runners and walk, you know, everyone in Lycra. I'm out for a walk. They've got their blood pressure monitors and their heart monitors. It's a fucking walk, you know. You don't need to dress different for a walk. But they do. They're out in. I'm in Lycra because I'm out for a fucking walk. If you're running or cycling, I can understand it, but separate clothing for a walk just seems fucking crazy. I used to walk to Guadamar and back, and walk all around Guadamar all day long while I was there. I didn't have any Lycra. I don't even own any fucking Lycra. What are you doing? That's for heart monitors and blood pressure monitors. It's a fucking walk. What are you doing? Peoples. Jesus Christ. Okay, 8 a.m. This is Thursday morning, 8 a.m. EcoFlow and the solar panel are connected and are out, but it's hot already. 8 a.m. It's already hot. 8:30. Tina goes crazy. I mean, not just barking at Pastor. Tina goes fucking wild. Don't know why. And then Colleen arrives, and now I know. See, Colleen will come down the road, we'll park under the hoardings, and then she'll walk down. She used to walk down this side of the tent. Now she knows that Tina's just inside over here, so she comes direct to the door. But as soon as Tina hears Colleen's car, she knows her car. As soon as she hears that, she can't see her because the bushes are in the way. But as soon as she hears that car, she goes fucking apeshit. She knows when Auntie Colleen's coming and bringing her a chicken carcass or some meat or other. There's not always a chicken carcass. Sometimes it is just a newspaper for me. But she hears Colleen and just goes fucking wild. Yeah, on this particular day, Colleen was only bringing me a newspaper. There was nothing for Tina. Just cuddles. Kisses and cuddles. By 9:30 I had to turn the fan on. So hot. The air was so hot and still inside the tent. There's a balancing act in the morning, folks. There's an hour either side of kind of dawn when lots of flies. So you want to get the doors open for airflow, but the flies are such a fucking nuisance. And I went 3 or 4 weeks where I didn't have anything to deal with the flies. I didn't have any fly spray, and I didn't as yet have my, oh shit, the glasses just went on the floor again. I didn't have my fly squatter, my electric swatter. It's not a fly squatter, is it? It's a fly swatter. I didn't have that. I had this smaller one, but it's on the end of like an 18-inch lead. It doesn't really go anywhere. I've got to be careful now about picking up my lenses. 2 lenses on the floor. I'll have to look for those after. Where are we, folks? Where are we? We're on Thursday, aren't we? Tina, no. Tina, no. So Tina had gone crazy at Colleen, yeah. Tina! Sufficiente. Tina, that's enough, babe. No more. No. I will not look, I will not look, I will not look. Don't wave at the tramp in the field, whatever you do. So it was so hot, I had to turn the fan on. It was just getting, the air was getting still and a bit warm in there. But it's like I said, it's a balancing act. Sometimes I have to I have to bring Tina in. She'll be snapping at all the flies, and she'll have like 6 on her nose, and I have to get rid of them, help her back into the tent, and zip up the like the mosquito net behind her, and then get that fan on just to get the air moving. And the other day we had rain. When it rains, the next 3 days are hell, because there's just so, I think the flies lay eggs in the soil, and when it's wet, that's when they all hatch out. And it's hell on earth for 3 days after it rains. You don't want to be here then. We're just coming to the end of that period now, but it was bad earlier today again. This is one of those days where by 9:30 you're thinking, I can't believe it's only 9:30. You feel like you've been awake for 5 or 6 hours and it's still first thing in the morning. What do you do? The time just drags sometimes. And this was when Anthony arrived. Cooked breakfast on a plastic plate, 2 litres of cold beer for breakfast. Oh, you see, you can't let the cold go to waste. The beer, it would stay as beer all day long, but it's only cold beer when it arrives. It's only cold when it arrives. This is what I tell myself. So yeah, I often find myself like 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning drinking a cold beer if someone's brought me a cold beer. And before I finish breakfast, his son Ronan arrives. So I think Ronan was going home, was it that day or the next, and his dad was going home the day after. So Ronan brings 5 cold cans of beer to add to to the cold beer that Anthony's brought. Yeah, that's right. Ronan was leaving that day. Anthony was leaving on. So this is Thursday. Anthony was leaving that day. Sorry, Ronan was leaving that day. Anthony was leaving on Saturday, and his wife was staying on for an extended holiday. And he's been back again since before she's even gone home. He's been back again. Friday morning, first thing, the ladyship's outside again, but actually not making that much noise for once. I go out, I connect the EcoFlow to the solar panel and deploy the solar panel. And this folks, this. I said earlier about the EcoFlow cable. Disaster. The negative cable, there's a positive and negative cable from the solar panel to the connector and into the EcoFlow. The negative just disconnects from the connector, just you can't even really say snaps. You can't see any solder, there's nothing there. If you've ever looked at some of these fancy cable connectors, it's like they're in two halves. You would take your two cables and slide them through the back end of the connector, slide that out of the way. Then they solder to the back of the front half of the connector, and then this back end, which is often called the boot, pushes up and over and clicks it onto the back of the front half of the connector. And that's like a strain relief. It's a protector to stop none of that. My connector was one thing with a badly painted line. The two halves weren't two halves. It was one bit of plastic, literally painted separate colour with a wavy line that's not straight, and then just two metal posts come out of the connect, and they're just soldered on weakly and brittly. And after 15 months they were both ready to snap. And the first one snapped, and I carried on being able to just ram the cable in for a week or two until a friend brought me a nice new cable. By the time we got the new cable here, the second of the two cables, the positive, was ready to snap. I mean, it was hanging on by a bloody fingernail. It was hanging on by literally a thread in the end. Cheap, nasty, tacky shit sold to us expensively. We paid £35 for a metre cable that lasted just over a year, maybe 15, 16 months. When we come to buy again this time, they're selling metre cables for a tenner. We bought a metre and a half, we paid 18 to go longer. But so much higher quality, you can just see in the connector, you can just look at it and feel and see the difference. So much higher quality. Frightening. Okay, let me just take note of where I am, and then I'm going to have a swig of beer and have a chat with you. I'll go through chat and see where we're at. I am... Oh, it's moved, it's jumped. I think we were on Thursday, were we, the last I looked? When the cable snapped. Anthony was here, cold beers, Linda stayed on. Oh, we were on Friday morning, that's when it snapped. Okay, just remember, when I ask you in a minute, where are we? We're on Friday morning. Okay? Okay. Cheers. That's actually still quite cool. Cheers to the subscribers. Thumbs up, folks, if you would. Please. Don't make me beg. Tina, girl. Tina, it's okay. If you need to go and bite somebody, I'll let you. I have left that side door wide open. I normally close that when we do these shots, in case somebody nips in and steals anything. I've left it wide open, but the tarpaulin is pulled right down, halfway down the door. Tina, that's enough. It's a little bit more. dad and son, but only one scooter between them. Tina! Quiet, quiet. Oh, he looked away. Seems to be a growing trend, folks. I wave at people and they look away. Okay, let me see what I can do here. I've got to find the lenses, haven't I? I've got one. Definitely both missing. I found one. I do have a pen on the floor. Let's get that. One lens. Where's the other lens? Oh, there it is. If I don't find it, you know it's going to go crunch on the foot, don't you? I'll have to retrieve it while I can. Oh! I am... Ouch! My trousers are clinging in places that trousers shouldn't cling. Oh, what was that? That's my brolly. Sombria. Oh, and I'm on the strap. I still think it's too windy to put the brolly up, unfortunately. I brought it out in case the in case the wind died down. It would have helped with visibility on the screen and everything. Let me put a lens or two back in the glasses in case they're needed subsequently. Like I said, these glasses are close, but just not quite. That fell right through. Bear with me, folks. It's a teddy bear that's with me, but yeah. I can do that if I need to. Okay. I can't do anything more with brightness. It is skipping back. Yeah, back to the bottom every time. Oh. I think I saw that one. Somebody says, have been there, but I can't see. Let's see if I can. No, I cannot. Somebody's been here though. Sorry mate, I cannot. Okay, I think that's Ryan. Ryan in Valencia. Somebody says, good luck lad. Michael maybe. Oh, what's wrong with your real name? Yeah, I saw that one, didn't I? I don't know how you are sitting in the direct sun. I saw that one. Let's move forward a little bit, but not have it jump. Forget about the names, people remember what they said. That was Rob Ryan. I was cuffed with them once, DM, and my forearm was numb for 4 months. Can't see who says that. Is that Rob again? That's Rob Ryan. Yeah, no, they're evil. These modern cuffs are designed to inflict pain. They are a torture device. You see, once they're on, the cops can twist them, and because they're fixed, they don't. It's not like a chain in between each. They're fit, and they can just. They absolutely can control you. I had them behind my back, and the guy lifted them like above my head, but behind my back. I was bent over double, and the cunt was, you know, kicking me or whatever. They're absolute cunts. This was the same time I was in the back of the van. When I was put in the van, he slammed the door on my foot before I got in. So my shoe was in the door. And he realised that my foot was there, and he thought it was me playing funny buggers. So he got in the car at the other side behind me and pressed my head against the glass all the way to the Policia Local, the station by Carrefour, in the centre of Torrevieja there, in the other side of Torrevieja. My head was pushed against the window the entire way there. The guy was an absolute fucking animal. He's the one that I challenged to a fight in a boxing ring. Not just him, I said I'd have him a fight, and afterwards I would fight their champion. Pick your fucking champion. Who's your best boxer in the entire Policia locale? I will have a fight with your champion. We'll do it for charity. So I'm not being violent, I'm not being aggressive. We will just arrange a fucking boxing match. Me and you, and then me and your champion. Chicken shits. The fucking lot of them. Torrevieja, Policia locale, chicken shits. Oh, I couldn't do, that's not professional. I said, and the way you're fucking beating me up now and pressing my head against the fucking window is professional, you piece of shit. And there's a camera in that car, but they won't let me have the footage. Anyway. I've made the same challenge to the Guardia Civil at one point as well. We will have a charity boxing match, me against you or me against your champion. Have you seen Spanish police? They all look like squaddies. They're not like British donut operators. They're not British fat boys. They all look like squaddies. Tina girl, stop it. Tina! That is DJ's son, isn't it? You got a real name there, DJ? I'm sure you have, and you've probably told me it in the past, and it's probably just me. Let me go top chat and then back to live chat, because I feel like I'm missing a lot. I feel like it hasn't updated. Or maybe it's just jumped to the bottom and I've missed a lot in between. Oh, can you see the real me? I can't see the name. I think that might be Rob again, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, folks. I think I'm up to date with chatting, unless you tell me that I've missed a load, which is entirely possible. DJ is David Johnson. Hi, David. Hello, hello. We were on Friday, if I remember correctly, folks. I'll have another swig of beer. In fact, I'll finish this one and open the next one if I can remember where I've put them. Where are we? We're over an hour and a half in, and I've just finished my first can. I did have the remnants of one open when we started, didn't we? But these are from Lee. Lee is the sponsor of the beer for today. Lee, who came around and brought me water and a 12-pack of beer earlier this week. Tuesday maybe? Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, hello. Sorry. Pretty young lady with not a lot of clothes on walking past. I can't help being a hetero male. Hey. I think that was my friend Roger. What was that? Oh, okay. Okay. Somebody with multiple names. Multiple personalities. Okay, folks, I guess I need to go back in here and just finish. We're on Friday, so let's get Friday, Saturday and Sunday out of the way. I think in future I do maybe need to edit my notes down a little bit before I do these. And this might not be the right app to hold the text. I like the fact it saved me about 4 hours this morning. I don't want it to allow me to be too lazy though. I should have done maybe a little bit more research on the numbers. And I should have read through the notes beforehand and maybe just pared them down a little bit. But you live and you learn. Using this tablet, my new tablet from my friend Karen. Thank you, Karen, and family. Guys, Samsung Galaxy. Is it called a Tab 9? Tab A9? Something like that. Samsung Galaxy Tab A9. We're talking like fucking top, or almost top of the line tablet. The only thing bigger and better is the S9, which is like a pro version of the same thing. There's that, and there's the iPad and iPad Pro. I'm not an Apple person, I don't do Apple, so Samsung would be the obviously if someone gave me something I'm not going to turn it down. I'm a tramp in a field. But mate, I'm from tramping to camping to glamping with my solar panels, my electric fans, my cool box, my Samsung Z Flip 7 or whatever it's called, and now Samsung Galaxy Tab 9. It's all down to Karen, isn't it? Karen and family. Can you hear the wind picking up? How are we for power? If the wind's popping the microphone or anything, tell me. I think if we've got enough power, I cannot read. Where are we for that? I can't read that at all. Is that 34 or 54? I think it's enough that I can unplug that. Maybe I'll plug the tablet in instead. But I think I can do that and put the I'll put the sponge over to block any wind from the microphone. Yeah, I'm now not visible to myself because half the screen's covered by the sponge. Somebody says, where you at? That's an interesting question. If you watch the beginning of the show, you will see Delta Mike Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that's me. Torrevieja. That's a town on the southeast coast of Spain. If you mean where am I at within Torrevieja, I'm on the coast, directly opposite the Repsol garage on, what's the road called? Alfredo Nobel, Calle Alfredo Nobel. Might be Avenida. It changes at points where it's Calle or Avenida, but it's Alfred Nobel, it's the coast road. And I'm opposite the Repsol garage, kind of on the border between Torrevieja and La Mata. That would get you there. If you need an exact location for any reason, like you want to come and beat me up or have a fight or something, email me, I'll happily give you the coordinates. We can do the dance later. I'm sure that's not why you're asking. It's just my humour. Although I have had people in the past who challenge me one way or another. Okay folks, where am I? We were on Friday morning. I was saying about how the wire had snapped off the back of the XT60 connector. So the cable in between the solar panel and the EcoFlow is what's called an MC4 to XT60i connector. And one of the wires is just discombobulated. It's just unsoldered itself because there was no solder there hardly. And I managed for a couple of weeks actually just ramming that in and making it just work. Later that day, I had to put some duct tape around the other cable because both had copper showing at the bottom and now one of them's loose. When they were both connected and copper showing, they couldn't touch each other, they were like a centimetre apart. But now one of them's loose, there was a risk of it shorting and sparking. It did at times. But I put some duct tape around the copper that was grinning on the other cable, on the positive. My mate Anthony arrives 9:45 and he's brought a cooked breakfast and a bag of loose change. I think this was his last day. He was going home the next day, so he he arrived there, and that's what he does. He helps me out one way or another, and sometimes with beer, sometimes with a little bit of cash. After he leaves, it's sweltering inside, so I've got the fan on. And my note here reads, geez, the heat. I stopped the fan and changed the EcoFlow. Oh, I stopped the fan and charge. See what I mean about having to edit my notes? I stopped the fan so that we can charge the EcoFlow, get the percentages up. But I can't go more than 5 minutes before I have to turn the fan back on again. My phone is almost too hot to hold. This was where I took the case off my phone. The plastic case was actually insulating my phone and keeping the heat in. I needed to take the case off because my phone was red hot to touch. It was starting to bitch about the heat. And then when you plug it into charge on top, and when you charge a device, there's heat given off as a byproduct of charging. It got even worse. This is where my mate Joby arrived, and this I referenced this earlier. I'd been toying with the idea of helping a friend. Somebody stole Joby's phone a month or two ago. I don't know if you remember me saying. I mentioned it a while back. People in his camp. He formed a camp with another guy, and the other guy, while Joby was away travelling, this guy invited some people in, and then those people invited some people in, and they invited others in. And then when Joby comes back, there's a bunch of crackheads in his camp, and they steal his money and his phone. I wanted to help. Now, you guys had lent me money to buy Tina some wheels, and I was kind of torn. I was hesitating about buying the wheels because I couldn't find the right combination, robustness, size of the wheels, the saddle, the harness, and delivery, and then building it, because these things apparently they come flat packed. So I had all these considerations, and I had the money sitting there, and I had a friend in need, and I asked you guys whether you were all right with me helping a friend out. And I did. I loaned him the money to get the cheapest phone that you can get with some of Tina's wheels money. I've still got enough in the account, just about, to get them if I see the right combination of products. Although at the minute, in the intervening period, we've had a vet involved, and we're seeing whether we can actually repair Tina so that she doesn't need the wheels. Doesn't look like it's working, but we'll see. But my friend Joby, the Englishman that used to live in this field with me, has managed to go off, and a couple of days later he did buy a new phone and contact me to say, here I am, here's my new phone. It's a loan, the money has to come back. He does, he busks, he plays music, and yeah, but it's a busy day. So let's just recap. My EcoFlow cable breaks. Anthony comes and brings breakfast. It's hot. Joby comes round and I lent him money to buy the phone. While he's here, the police visit. And yeah, look, they seem to have a nice shiny new set of vehicles and shiny new officers in shiny new uniforms. And they tell me you can't be here. Usual demand for papers, please. Identification. Spanish police can demand identification of you any place, any time. In public. I'm not in public. Get to fuck. I'm not in public. Especially when I'm inside my tent and you come along and say hello and get me at the door. I'm not in public. I'm in my habitual residence, which has the same status as your home. And I know this because I've checked this. Your habitual residence, even if it's a tent on private land, even if it's not your private land, has has the same status as a home. It needs a warrant to search or to arrest. You can't just come along and do the papers please shit. So now I've started saying to them, tierra privada, parcelo privado, as I was taught as an alternate the other day. Thank you, folks. Parcel of land is private, but it changes to masculine when it becomes a parcel of land rather than just ground or earth. But they started asking me, and they, how long have you been here? And I told them 2.5 years, and they look at each other straight away, and they know they've lost at that point. They know. They're expecting me to say, oh, 6 hours, 12 hours, a day and a half. You know what I mean? 3 days. No. 2.5 fucking years, and I can prove it. I've got a YouTube channel. There are videos that go back 2 years and beyond, and they show a tent or a shelter that was falling down at that point because it'd already been up for 5 or 6 months. And I tell them, su jefe estaba aquí hace un año. Your boss was here, it makes a year. That's how you say a year ago in Spanish. And they look at each other and they get on the radio and they do. Then they start hassling Matey Boy for his papers, Joby. I'm like, no. Visitor. No vivienda aquí. He's not living here. Visitor. You're not just demanding papers from my visitors. Just fuck off. Just go. I'm getting quite bullshit with these cunts nowadays. I'm at the point of telling them no entry. You can't come on here. If I had a gate, if I was beating my wife up, and I've seen this, I've not done this, I've seen a domestic dispute in a driveway with a gate across, and the police would not enter because private property. They stayed the other side of the fence and the gate. They do not enter private property. They will routinely walk through this fucking field and come and give me a hassle inside my tent. And I'm starting to say, no, go away, privada, fuck off. I know the middle class amongst you that have never had interactions with the police. You've never been pulled up for speeding and had them said, now, Sterling Moss, what's the rush? You've never had that guy. I can't help you. Back the blue until it happens to you. That's all I can say. Back the blue until it happens to you. We have a psychopathy problem with the police, and it's not just Spain, it's not just Britain, it's worldwide. People who seek power over other people, people who revel in power over other people. If you've never experienced it, you won't believe me. But one day it will happen to either you or your sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters. Then you'll believe it. Then you won't believe that they can get away with it. Then you'll make a complaint and get laughed at because the police that investigate the police don't action it. I had a friend who contacted their lawyer to work on my behalf after the Guardia Civil tried to run me over on the main road. They spent a week harassing me at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, driving past here on the little side track. This road goes nowhere, but every night for a week they were coming down here at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, pipping horns and blowing whistles next to the tent. And one time I tried to cross the road at the top, and the Guardia Civil pulled into the bus stop on the far side of the road. I went to the bin, and on my way back I got into the road and they pulled out and drove right at me with another vehicle on their shoulder. They tried to run me over. We tried to get a lawyer, and the lawyers all said, oh, you'll have to go out of town and you'll have to get a law firm that specialises in pursuing the police. Basically, it's too much trouble for us to go after the local cops. The lawyers are afraid of the police. The public are afraid of the police. That's not right. And I will state it at every fucking opportunity. That's not right. That's not how it should be. You should not have police driving past people, pipping horns and blowing whistles at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. You should not have police driving right at you when you're in the middle of the road, crossing the road. Shouldn't happen. But it does, and nobody will do anything about it. Back the blue till it happens to you. Here endeth the lecture, folks. That's not what this episode's supposed to be about. It's kind of ancient history now. But for those that doubt it, it's all there on previous videos. Anyway, I lent my friend some money, is what I started saying. Now, on the Thursday, I said I was going to go live, and I was going to stay live until I hit 1,500 subscribers. But I had some power issues because EcoFlow and that broken wire with a broken connector. Maybe I'll do it in a day or two, I said. Now, Joby was here all day. He left at 8 o'clock. So he'd been here most of the day, actually. I had a little nap in the chair, and then I sat out here as the sun went down, and I had a little nap in the chair, which is unusual, because usually around sunset, dusk, the flies, an hour before and an hour after, there's extra flies. But I just wanted the cool air. So when it went dark, I had a most enjoyable evening just sat out here. So that was Friday. I think I said Thursday a minute ago. That was Friday. Saturday, I woke up in the night, phone on 0%. Phone's dead. I brought the EcoFlow across to the bed, unplugged it from the solar panel and brought it to the bed. Waited till it hit 3% again and turned it on. Then I turned on the fan. Fell asleep. You see how power goes? You turn something on like the fan, enjoy the cool air, but then you fall asleep and you wake up and the EcoFlow's down to 40%. In winter, that could be critical, because you might have a day where the sun doesn't come up, and I will easily get through 40, 50, 60% of the EcoFlow's capacity in one day, easily. So in winter that would be a problem. In summer, not so much. Even on an overcast day, there'll be that half an hour or hour where it gets a bit brighter than other days, and it'll get you where you need to be. Might not fully charge you, but it'll get you there or thereabouts. Oh, incorrect pin, really. Okay. Now that morning I woke up really late, 8:30. The sun was kind of starting to be on the tent and starting to warm the tent up, even though it's not on the panels, not on the solar panels. Tina she looked like she wanted a long walk. Sometimes she's looking, sometimes she just wants to pee, sometimes she just wants to poo, sometimes both. Sometimes she's looking to get all that out of the way, but she also wants to go and find some nice grass to chew on. Spain this time of year, there isn't any nice grass. Maybe if you go to a park that's got sprinklers, but not here. No, grass here is like hay or straw. It's not nice. She was more interested in finding grass than she was in the pee or poo thing. Tina, quiet. Okay, the Scottish couple in Spain did a video answering questions from their community, and a few of their comments and questions were from the video that had been about me. Tina girl, shush shush. Hola, buenas. Tina, cámate, amigo mío. Tranquilo. Everybody's Russian, folks. Everybody's either Russian or I can't tell the difference between Russian and Ukrainian, but everybody's... If they're not Spanish, now it used to be, if you heard a language that wasn't Spanish, it would be English. Tina! Quiet. It used to be that if you heard a language that wasn't Spanish, it would be English. Nowadays, it's Russian or Ukrainian. Everybody's Russian or Ukrainian. Just a minute, just a minute. I got a visitor. Here we go. Okay, folks, where am I? We're on Saturday morning, aren't we? So Tina wants a long walk. She's looking for grass, and the Scottish couple have released a video discussing comments on their channel. 12:15 and the EcoFlow is almost fully charged. It's a hot day, but not as hot as it'd been the previous day, so that was a little bit of a relief. 14:20. That's 20 past 2 for those that don't do military time. Learn to fucking subtract 12, guys. Come on. 14 minus 12 is 2. 220. Okay. My watch strap broke. Again. Bodged it together with 2 cable ties. Thank you, Ronan. The cable ties came from Ronan way back. And the watch came from Owen. E-O-G-H-A-N. Owen. Way back 2 years ago or more now. Same battery all the way, but the strap is now perished. It's broken 3 or 4 times now. I was holding it together with cable ties, but it keeps breaking. It's broken. Now, 20 to 3 in the afternoon, and for some reason I felt the need to just check on the EcoFlow. 35%? What the fuck? What's going on? How are we down on a sunny day? How are we down to 35%? Well, folks, why are we down to 35%? We got 75 watts potentially. We got 75 watts incoming. No, we haven't. We've got 75 watts outgoing. I've got the fan on and I've got the cool box, but the wire that I've just pushed into the connector has dislodged. So for the last hour, we've had about 100 watts going out. It reads as 75, but there's a 30 watt overhead for the AC. So power's going out and the wire's dislodged. We got nothing coming in. We're on 35 watts at basically 2:30 in the afternoon. Dog starts going crazy. The guy outside starts off asking for power for his phone. He's got an iPhone but no charger or anything. Doesn't have a cable with him. Then he starts talking about needing food. But then not food, money for food. Imagine asking a homeless guy for fucking money. You get these, can I get power? No, not power, food. No, not food, money for food. No, I need a plane flight home to fucking where. No, just fuck off. Get the fuck. No. You get them. People trying to take advantage of a homeless guy. It's the most unbelievable scum shit ever. Not having it. No. Yeah, it started with wanting power for his phone, then it was food, then it was money for food, and then it was money to get home to fucking Argentina. I'm a fucking tramp in a field. There's no fucking money for Argentina. Get to fuck. My notes here. On your fucking bike, mate. Sell your fucking iPhone to buy your plane ticket home. Don't stand here with $2 worth of phone asking a homeless guy to give you money for a fucking flight home. It's not fucking happening. What are you thinking? I asked him to be on his way and wish him buena fortuna. Saturday night should be Big Clive and Scruff Dog, and back then it was. Indeed, now it's not. Big Clive is currently away, and last night Scruff was on at a strange time, and I fell asleep before it and woke up just after it finished. So I missed Scruff Dog this week. But in the week we're discussing, I caught them both, and it was always excellent. Saturday night, folks, into Sunday. I woke up late again, 8:30. Did the solar EcoFlow thing, did the dog walk thing. Surprised how little power I used overnight. Just charging the phone, and I only had the fan on for 10 minutes in the night. By 9:30, ridiculously hot. And I'd hit 1,450 subscribers, so I was pushing for 1,500 subscribers that day. That was the hope at the start of the day. I think you'll see that we got there and then some. By 10 a.m. the EcoFlow's already up to 95%, even though we'd already got the fan on. Hot inside the tent. Hot. Thought about doing notes for TrampCast. I'd missed the weekend before, but whenever I thought about doing the notes and I've got to write them down, my forearm's so wet, so sweaty, dragging across that book, it would just be smearing. I wasn't in the mood. I thought about it, just didn't happen. Instead I listened to some more trash sci-fi and just enjoyed my Sunday and said, fuck it, I'll make it up to them another day. And here I am, 3 weeks later, making it up to you. This week I will try and do catch-up TrampCasts. Maybe we can do them a little later in the day, so it's when you get home from work, for those of you that are interested. So instead of 5 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. yours in the UK, maybe instead of 5, 6 or 6:30 maybe, an extra hour and a half, maybe, we'll see. I'll try and do them most days, because we've got to get through 4 or 5 this next week, haven't we, to get back on track. The heat inside the tent was stifling. I could smell something going off, but I didn't know what. I got some onions and some potatoes, and potatoes in particular are fucking vile when they go off. When potatoes go bad, they go bad inside their skin. They turn to mush, and it's a really rotten, horrible, stinky mush. But if you pierce the skin, the whole potato kind of explodes, and it's fucking vile, really nasty. Now my friend Sean called around on the Sunday, so if I had been trying to write my notes, he would have been a little bit in the way, but fortunately he picked a day when I wasn't doing TrampCast anyway. This is a new friend who'd been around the Saturday the week before. So when I had the three friends all come round on the Sunday, Sean had been round on the Saturday before, but then he came round on the Sunday the week after. And by coincidence, I wasn't doing TrampCast. But he brought a couple of pasties, kind of pastries. One was savoury and one was chocolate. And he also brought a few cold beers. Cold beer is always appreciated. Cold beer is always good. Cerveza fría. So I sat outside and talked with him for a few hours and added to my excessive suntan that I had at the time from the weekend before. Incidentally, I had a visitor yesterday come round, and again, this time I sat outside without my top on, and I am now totally lobstered, the top half of me. I am fuck off bright red. Traditional Englishman in the sun. Fuck off bright red, lobstered in the sun. No discussion, nothing about it. Just, I'm British and I was in the sun for 3 hours. What do you expect? Of course I turned bright fucking pink. Oh, and this was a night when I was inside and I'm lying on the bed as it's going dark, and I'm thinking, it's darker in here than normal. What's going on? What's different? And I looked around and I realised that the 3 sets of Christmas lights that I got, let me do this. I have 3 sets of Christmas lights that I charge almost every day over on, can you see them there? Over on that, no, not there. Fuck, hold on. On there. I don't know if you can see them. There's 3 sets of solar powered kind of outdoor lights. I'll bring them inside the tent every day at night. Well, I'd forgotten this, on this particular night I forgot. And so I'm sat inside and I'm wondering what looks different. Why is it so fucking dark in here? And it just turned out that I'd not brought the lights in. They were twinkling away out in the dark. Buses going past and the police going past, and they're seeing all these twinkling lights in my camp. I'd just not brought them in. Hey ho, what can you do? So that was that, folks. That was the week that was. We didn't do TrampCast that night. Maybe we did a TrampCast hangout. It doesn't mention in my notes. We probably did. Friday nights and Sunday nights seem to have become almost a fixed endeavour for TrampCast hangouts. Almost a fixed thing. If anybody wants to, we will do one tonight, somewhere between 10 or 10:30, depending how the mood takes me nearer the time, whether I can get a nap in between now and then, whether I can find a few science related stories to talk about with you. But for now, that was the week that was. I wish you all a happy Sunday, a happy and prosperous Sunday evening or afternoon, wherever you are. In a moment, after I have a quick swig of beer, I'll go back through chat, just have a last catch up with you and see where you're at. Let's have a look at Tina quickly. Hey babe. There's Tina. Don't know if you can see her. And here's Ilya, our new friend. He's just stopping by. New friend. Just stopping by, making some coffee. Okay folks, another swig of beer and I'll be right with you in chat. I want this week, we're going to do a big push. Along with the, if I can catch up in 1 week, if I can catch up with the 3 or 4 TrampCasts that we're behind, if we can catch up, I want to do a push to 2,000 subscribers. We're on 1660 or thereabouts, I think, from what I last remember looking at. If we can get to 2,000 in the next month or so, that'd be great. So that's going to be the next big push for those of you that are of a mind to. Tilt your phone down a bit, can only see half of you. I think I had it zoomed slightly. I think I fixed that a little while ago. Karen said hello everyone. A friend has a German Shepherd, lost use of back legs. Dog had a stem cell injection in back end and got better quick. That'd be nice. Probably expensive though, and I'm a tramp in a field, so, you know. I've only just managed to get a vet to come out and see her, and that needed the help of a charity. I forgot, folks, I should have put a link to the charity. I will put another comment out with a link to the charity. If you don't want to donate to me, or if you're a Tina fan, I'll put a link out there and you can send money to help the charity that has helped Tina. Failing that, if you just find the video from kind of a week ago that says Tina needs help kind of thing, the links are all there to the Facebook post, the PayPal, and another payment method to send money. You don't send the money to me, send it direct to the charity. They're the ones that helped Tina. She is, as you know, the real star of the show. It's not me. Tina's the star. But help them to help Tina, I guess is the message. Chorizo burps. I got chorizo. Thank you, Karen, for the chorizo. I had chorizo sandwiches earlier with the Brava sauce. Hey, what can you do, folks? They're all terrified of the police. The Spanish people are typically, in normal day-to-day life, they kind of ignore it, because if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to do with them, unless they just decide to pick on you out of the blue. So they turn a blind eye, because it kind of sort of doesn't affect them until it does. And that's the thing. It's like I was saying about back the blue till it happens to you. The police are your friends until they're not. And if you're not doing anything wrong, and if you don't think you're doing anything wrong, you think you're not going to be bothered by them. And then one day you get bothered by them. And then you can't get anybody else to help you, because they're all in the same boat. They're all likewise, you know, they all likewise think the police don't bother you unless you're doing something wrong. All you need to do is be like a regular... Oh, reconnecting, you are live. Okay, YouTube, we're back out here. We're back out there. We were disconnected. I was just saying, if you're a regular in a bar, if you go to a bar 3 times a week or more, then either you or one of your friends will have been pulled by the police at some point in the last year. You just have to be out of your house at 11 o'clock at night or later, and you're going to be stopped by them at some point for some reason. Either you or someone you know will just have that interaction, and it will go sideways, and one of your friends will have spent nights in the cells over nothing. And you kind of can't explain this to other people that don't go out. People who stay in their house and don't, you know what I mean? You can't explain that sarcastic cop that pulls you over and that says, "Hello, Speedy Gonzales, what's happening today?" You know? Till it happens to you, you don't fucking know. People saying hello to Karen. Terrified of police. Hold on, it jumped. Oh, it jumped backwards, not forward. I thought it jumped forwards. There's my friend George. He'll be back the 1st of September. Bring you water, food and beers. That'd be lovely, my friend. Lots of people have brought me water since, including your neighbour Lee. Karen brought me two batches of 8 or 10 bottles. Lee brought me, I think, 8 bottles. Eight 8-litre bottles, something like that. And a case of beer. The Argus that we're drinking today was brought by Lee, the Australian. He's not Australian, he's a Brit living in Australia. But cheers to Lee and cheers to George for your help. And your lad was on last week talking with me. I can't remember his name now. Hold on. Darren? I'm going to go Darren. My memory's not great, but I'm fairly confident in Darren. Tell me if I'm wrong, if you're still here. I am a little bit behind in chat. When's the 1st of September? That's another month away, isn't it? 4 or 5 weeks away. I think Karen will be back before you. Robert saying goodbye, probably off. Are we all watching football at the same time? Stem cell injection costs €300, but if they're not your own stem cells, you've got to take you got to take immune suppressants for the rest of your life. How much are they going to cost every month? Because you're going to have chimeric. It is Darren indeed. Okay, I don't know whether you typed that before I got there. I got there independently. I don't know whether you typed it first. Darren was on, not this Friday, I think the Friday before. Stem cell injection costs €300. That'd be nice. Anything you want, mate? What? I don't know what you want, but...
Ты будешь кофе?
Para ti.
И para ti. Okay?
Sí. Yeah, it's for, that's for you.
Ese es mi y tú, okay?
No, para mí. No.
Okay, muchas gracias.
No, de nada, amigo.
Amigo, hasta luego.
No hay problema. Where am I? Darren, last week. Oh, and the stem cells. If you take a stem cell transplant, stem cells into the bone marrow, it makes chimeric blood. Just stem cells, just as an injection for repair, I don't know if you need the immune suppressants or not afterwards. If they were your own stem cells that have been taken out of the body and multiplied and put back in, I don't know if they're from elsewhere. I don't know what the recoverable was remarkable. I was thinking, see, the vet hinted at we wait a month and then we might have to make difficult decisions. Here's the thing, folks. There is not a sign of pain from Tina. She's not using her back legs. That's the only symptom. I'm happy to carry her around. I will buy her a set of wheels. I will do whatever. I am not putting my dog down if she's not in desperate pain. I'm just not. The whole we'll have to make difficult decisions bullshit can just go away. That's just not. If I have to fucking pick her up and carry her out while she shits and pisses every day, I'll do it. At the minute, it's a belt around her waist and I'm picking her up and carrying just the back end. But if I had to carry the entire doggy, as long as she's not yelping in pain, I will fucking carry her wherever she wants to go. Now I'm 56. According to the vet, she's only got a couple of years left. She's 9.5. A dog of her size would live to be roughly 12, apparently. Her size and whatever mixture of breeds that she looks like. We got 2.5 years. It's not like I'm going to be a fucking 70-year-old fucking, I'll be 58, 59. I'll be headed for 60 by the time she goes. I will carry her to the ends of the earth. I sometimes get angry with her. If it looks like she wants a pee or a poo and I bring her out and we do the walkish thing and I carry her fucking 100, I'm carrying the back end 150 yards down the road and then she turns around, wants to come home and she hasn't peed or fucking pooed, I will be angry as shit with her. But I'll do that until my dying day. But I won't have to because she's only got a couple of years left in her. But I'll get her those wheels. As long as whatever pressure that puts on her spine isn't painful for her when she's in them and using them. We'll get there, we'll do that. It doesn't look like these tablets, this swelling reduction and pain doesn't look like that's making any difference. We're 10 days in and there's no sign of any improvement. I gave a double dose for the first 2 or 3 days because why not? whatever they prescribe, there's always a safety fucking margin. I'll cut the safety margin out if it's got a chance of getting a bigger benefit sooner. But it never worked. It didn't do anything. I don't know what else to say on that one, folks. I don't know what else to say. I will carry her to the ends of the earth. I'm certainly not having difficult decisions made on my behalf by people that don't know her. Options at the end of it, if this doesn't work. It's a slip disc type thing. It's a surgery, maybe? As someone just suggested, if stem cell injections are an alternate option, maybe. Now, I'm a tramp in a field. I'm not in a position to be paying thousands of euros for fucking whatever kind of surgery might be needed. I'll fundraise with a charity. I'll do what I can to make sure that they're where they need to be financially for whatever. If I could, with someone's help, if I could get hold of Santander and actually get access to my own fucking money, I would spend as much of what I've got as I could spare on her, within reason. You know, I'm not gonna bankrupt myself over a doggy. But £1,000 here, £2,000 there, I could manage. I've got no idea what back surgery on a dog would be. First, there'd have to be X-rays. I think my friend Alan from Norfolk was saying, to properly diagnose what she's diagnosed, and in the field diagnosis by pinching and squeezing and whatever, if that's the most likely outcome, then okay. But then if it doesn't respond to treatment, then it might not be what she thought it was. Maybe then we need to be going X-rays or MRIs or whatever the fucking modern equivalent is. PET scan. I don't know what the order of these different scans. X-rays, PET scans, MRIs, whatever. Tramp in the field, folks. I haven't got access to my money. If I could get access to my money, then my money would go towards it, obviously. But even then, even with access to my money, there'd be limits. How much do you spend on a dog? Like I say, you don't bankrupt yourself over it. Love her. She's my best friend. She's my girl. But it's all things within reason, isn't it? I think. I mean, I love her. You know, I would, if I went emotionally, it would be I'd spend every penny on her. But you got to be realistic about these things. She's in the end zone. She's in the end game. She's 9.5 years, where 10 to 12 is the expected lifespan for her. Do you know what I mean? If she was 5 or 6, you'd spend more because you're going to get more years out of it. I don't know. It's a calculus that I haven't formulated in my head yet. So I don't know where I fall on some of that. It's a bit of a moot point because I don't have access to my money anyway. So it's a thing. Who knows? Here you go. Quiet. She's chasing the flies. Let me see where I am with chat, folks. It's probably jumped to the bottom. No, it hasn't. There was Robert saying see you later. Stem cell injection 300. Confirming his name was Darren, yeah. One injection, full stop. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't see who's saying it. Is that sativa? I don't know. What do I do with these glasses in the end? I'm not sure. That's magnified it, but it's still dull, so it doesn't help. I cannot see that. I think it's sativa breeder, which is Martin, if I remember correctly. The recovery was remarkable. And now it jumped. Now it jumped and I've got no idea where I am. What a fuck up that is. So no ongoing injections, no ongoing immune suppressants, which is a usual thing after a transplant. But okay, maybe, I don't know. Do you still need eco leads? Asks George. No, I'm all good, mate. My friend Karen brought them out. The next time she exchanges some money for me, I'm gonna put the extra in. We spent like 18 or 19, it was 18.90 something, I think. We got 1.5 meters, so much higher quality than what we had before for 35. Longer and higher quality, better connector, more robust. I am so pissed off about that first purchase, and I'm not even sure I paid for it. Karen's fella went home, got it. He was home for 3 days. He took Karen's mum home, stayed a couple of days, and then came back out. And in between, he bought the cable. I'm not sure I even paid for the first one, and I'm disappointed in it and annoyed at it. Even though I might have repaid them. I'm just not sure. But I'm disappointed as fuck in that cable. And it might not have cost me anything. It might not have been me. But it's just annoying. Now, I did keep it. I can clip the connector off. I can expose new wire. And at some future point when I learn how, maybe I can fit a new XT60 connector on the end. Maybe. I think that's within my wheelhouse. If I had the equipment, I think I could learn to do that. Soldering irons, I'm led to believe, needn't be expensive. Soldering irons, flux, solder or solder. We British pronounce the L. I don't know why the Yanks don't. A mate did explain it one time. Chipmunk explained why the Americans don't pronounce the L in solder. I think it might have been because of the French. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but somebody did explain it once. If you ever hear Americans, they talk about a soldering iron and solder. The L in solder is silent, like the L in back poo, or the L's in back poo, which was a discussion this was a university level discussion. There's also that famous football team of Liverpool. We had a most raucous discussion one day. A most raucous discussion. Because you've got Rafe Fiennes, haven't you? Who's really a Ralph. Yeah. That famous silent L. Find another fucking word where L is silent. Go on, I'll wait. Back poo. Liverpool. Somebody says cheers. Mike and the... That's Rich. RLRG. Richard, Richie. Do you still need... Okay, I'm on top of things. I'm up to date. I wish I could read the names of the... I'm fairly sure that's sativa. Sativa breeder. The recovery was remarkable, truly. Stem cells were the most amazing discovery. I was in university around 94, and they're one of those topics from 30 years or so ago. We had all these massive breakthroughs that were going to lead to buckyballs and carbon nanotubes. By now, nuclear fusion we would have harnessed the power of a sun in a tokamak, basically a donut-shaped reactor where the plasma is held in place by magnetic fields to stop it actually touching the metal and melting it, because 20,000 degrees Celsius is quite hot and would melt most metals. Nuclear fusion was just a few years away. Carbon nanotubes and buckyballs were going to revolutionize the world. Space elevators were going to be a thing because of the carbon nanotubes. graphene, single layer of carbon with different properties to normal carbon because of the single layeredness. It was going to transform chemistry and material science. 30 years later, very little of it has actually come through. Perovskites were going to revolutionize solar panels. You'd be able to just print a solar panel on a piece of paper because perovskites, we're still waiting. Perovskites are great for the first half hour and then they degrade, and nobody's managed to keep them going. I don't know what we're up to at the minute. Maybe they last an hour, maybe they last a week. That's not good enough for a fucking product that you're buying. All these things that we're just on the cusp of, we're just not there. And it's getting annoying to keep reading the same science stories week in, week out. The next greatest Parkinson's cure, the next greatest Alzheimer's cure, the better solar panel that's 1,000 times better. You keep reading. If ever you read a story about a solar panel that's 1,000 times better than what we've currently got, bullshit. Solar panels at the minute, the best we have are about 30% efficient. That means that you can go 3 times better-ish, in theory. If you ever read a story about how a solar panel is 1,000 times more powerful, or 100 times more, if you see a number greater than 3, then they're talking bullshit. I did a video on that ages and ages ago. Tramp, I think I was called at the time. So many things we're on the cusp of and that are just around the corner and that just never arrive. The last great invention was lithium batteries. Now we've had little tweaks to the chemistry, lithium iron phosphate being the latest. It's a tweak. It's a stepping stone. The last great leap forward was lithium batteries, and that was probably somewhere in the 70s or 80s. Everything else is a minor upgrade. It's maybe a potential way forward to the next big thing, but we're just not getting there. I'm getting a little bit tired of it. Could, would, should, yeah, all of that. Jack Attack's in the house. I don't need a lead anymore, George. No, I'm all good. Karen got me. It was a MC4 to XT60i adapter to go in between the solar panel and the EcoFlow. But I'm all sorted. We're all good on that one now, my friend. I had multiple people offering to send me them. I did find out if anybody does want to send me anything, I don't know why you would, and I'm not, this is not me doing the YouTuber, hey folks, I've got a PO box, send me shit. There are, what's it called? There's a set of boxes, postal boxes at the Repsol garage at the top of the road. I did mention them somewhere, and I got the name, something post, in post, something, is it in post or im post, IM or IN post. There's a set of in post boxes at the Repsol garage, which is on Avenida Alfred Nobel. You know the Spanish translate names. If a bloke's called Alfred Nobel, they'll turn me into Alfredo. If you called Elizabeth, like Queen Elizabeth, she was Reina, that's Queen, Isabella, because they translate names. Prince Harry is Principe, what's Harry? Not Henrietta, something like that. Oh, what's Harry? William is Guillermo. Principe Guillermo is Prince William. They literally translate your fucking name. You're called William and someone would come running down the road shouting, Guillermo, Guillermo. Would you recognise your name? You're called Elizabeth and someone shouting Isabel. What the fuck are you doing translating names? When King Juan Carlos was on the fucking throne, we didn't say John Charles, did we? He was Juan Carlos because that's the name that he would hear and know and understand. But the Spanish just have this thing of translating names. I find it strange, I find it a little bit annoying. It doesn't affect me. My real name wouldn't translate, neither does my fake name. Yeah, it doesn't affect me. But the concept of translating names is just bizarre. But they do it with road names. They also have this thing with B's and V's. B and V both make the same sound in Spanish, and so sign writers get confused. So if you've got a road called Bertha von Sutter, she was a lady who was key not to the Nobel Prize, to the rules of war. What are they called? Geneva Convention. She was a supporter of the guy who put in the rules for the Geneva Convention. She's got a road here, and halfway down the road, Bertha von Sutter. The Bertha becomes Verta, the von becomes Bon, and the B's and V's change about 6 times down the fucking road, because you're taking the order over the phone for what the name of the road is. And Bertha and Verta and Von and Bon, it's the same sound. So it's a right old fucking mishmash. Some letters in Spanish only exist to accommodate foreigners. I think that's the case with W's. Only exists because foreign languages have W's, the Spanish wouldn't. Same with Y, I think. They call Y is Y or Grego. Basically it's a Greek E. You remember I said about I's being E's? I and Y, E Grega. You can laugh at these things when you're on the outside. But let me just check how far back I am. Whoa, it jumped. I'm going to call it quits soon, folks. There we were talking about Darren. Oh, it jumped. Could, would, should. That was Jack Attack, wasn't it? Jill. Okay, George and Jill. Yeah, I struggled to remember her name again the other day, didn't I? I think I guessed right in the end. Because the George and Jill. I wasn't sure which spelling she was going to go with. I didn't know whether you were both G and G or whether you were G and J, but oh, the sponge, the pan scrub just blew away. Here I am. Okay, Jill said hello. I'm back where I was. Yeah, I got a cable. Hold on. Jump backwards again. In post. It was in post. Parcels delivered by Yodel. But if the address, they've got their own, they've got their boxes here. So if anybody does want to send anything, you should be able to find them by looking up the address of the set of boxes on Avenida Alfredo Nobel and the Repsol garage, and there is a number you can find them online, and if anybody wants to and tells me, I can give you an address. I'm not doing the whole, hey folks, I've got a PO box, send me shit. I'm not doing that, but if anybody does want to, it is an option. We do now have a way using InPost. Now that means that you you don't get to just post at your end. You have to go to an in-post depot or a set of boxes near you, and I've got no idea how frequent, how I don't know how likely you are to trip over a set of those anywhere near you. I know nothing, folks. I'm just 9 years ago these things didn't exist. I've been out of the country 9 years. I've got no fucking idea. Yeah, if anybody sends me anything, I can't go to like a town centre location or anything. I can't go to like a post office or whatever. It has to be here because dog, we just can't get anywhere. I don't leave this field basically. I walk past the garage when I go to the bin, and once a week when I go to the Chino Bazaar. That's my life. We got. I'll say this as well. For anyone who didn't catch it earlier, some people saw a week ago that I had the vet here, and then YouTube presented them with a video where we got to the cliff tops, and they assumed that Tina's walking again. She's not. You're watching the videos out of order. We went to the cliff tops first because for some reason I had a bit of extra muscle power, and Tina was in the mood, and we just got there. Don't know how, don't know why, but one day we just got there. Then 3 days later we got the vet here. Sorry for anyone who misunderstood if YouTube has deceived you. If you watched a video where the vet came and then afterwards you saw a video of us suddenly being out and about, I can understand how that might have misled you to think that Tina's got a new lease of life and has got new mobility. You're just watching videos out of order, I'm sorry. It's just unfortunate. No deliberate deception, just YouTubery. You know what I mean? It's just how YouTube is. Sometimes you watch a more recent video and then you get offered earlier videos after. You just have to pay attention to when the video was, folks, just to make sure you're not being deceived. Unfortunately, no miracle cure. We didn't suddenly take medication and get up and about. But quite the opposite. There's been literally no change. I thought for the first few days it looked to me like maybe she was moving her back legs a little bit more, but I think I was looking for it and hoping for it, and there was a bias in my perception because I wanted to see it. So sorry about that. Now we're on 2 hours 45. I feel like I've been waffling on forever. Quick check of chat about drop off and in-post, and meteor showers due tonight. Eyes to the sky says, I've no idea, I can't see that. Let me just put that down there. See, Robert maybe, I'm not sure. Sorry. Eyes to the skies for the meteor shower. Isn't that how Day of the Triffids began? Some of us have to not see it so that we can at least guide you and keep you all alive tomorrow when the Triffids come after you. Yeah, Howard Keel, wasn't it? Howard Keel in the movie. The 70s, the BBC thing from, was it the 70s or the 80s? I watched again not long ago. That was a better production. But I do like Howard Keel. Wasn't he in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers? I did like that film. I've got to... Okay. Shall we talk about my gaydar? I did like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers when I was a teenager. It's a little bit rapey when you watch it back now, but I don't know. I did like it. Well, he also was it Kiss Me Kate, which was a taming of the shrew analogy. Kiss Me Kate. Yeah, Howard Keel, Dallas. Okay, folks, my beer is at an end, and I guess so are we. Let's pretend is at an end. Just pretending. From Tina. And from me, Delta Mike, out. I will catch you all later if you so desire for a TrampCast hangout. 10 o'clock my time, maybe 10:30. 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30, your time in the UK. And 4 p.m, maybe 4:30, US Eastern. Okay, folks, Delta Mike, out.